My learned friend here says.
No, I'm not your learned friend. I'm not even your friend.
Okay.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About It. Today we are talking about free speech in college campuses. This is a video I recorded a while ago, late last year with my auntie, so forgive me for sound quality and camera quality, but still very interesting video about free speech in college campuses. And the reason I'm posting it around now is that I feel like free speech is under more and more attack, especially by big corporations like Google and Facebook and Twitter. So I just wanted to post this video so we could see why free speech is important. This is mainly about college campuses, but I think it's applicable overall to the importance of free speech. So I hope you enjoy it.
A faculty member is yelled at by students.
It is not about creating an intellectual space. It is not. Do you understand that? It's about creating a home here.
The reason? His wife, also a Yale instructor, had suggested students should be free to wear any Halloween costume they choose, even if slightly offensive.
Okay, pause this a second. So, my issue with this is that people are very afraid of offending people's sensibilities nowadays. Yes, everybody is allowed to be what they are, but they're also allowed to express what they feel to an extent, as long as it's not harming anybody.
I have to watch the words I say in
We
public.
all have to watch what we say in
You
public.
can only say that in
Yeah.
Even the private of your privacy with yourself, not even to anybody else's hearing.
In fact,
Because if you say it to somebody's hearing, they might report you.
in fact, if you have to tell someone you want whatever to say, you have to say you bloody stone. You bloody
Because
stone.
you could be offensive to people that are idiots.
If you
so
say,
you can't say
tell
they're
me I'm a
idiots.
bloody Nigerian bitch, I'll say, yes, I am a bloody Nigerian bitch. But if you want to tell someone else that, you say, you silly stone. That's it. You see this sausage?
But you should be able to tell somebody they're being
You
daft.
can't anymore, not in
Why?
this. That was our day. Now
Now
Not this day.
it's almost
Tina,
a hate crime.
Our day is over. Our day, those days were there.
Well, I want to be told when I'm daft. You know,
Because most of these people don't even
they
know
don't
why
even know what
they're
they're there. Well,
They're-
they just get, the masses. They just see this rally. Oh, I'm going to join in. It's excitement, adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
And they go in and they join, but they don't know what they're really joining. That's what I think is going on here.
Yeah, that's for me. It's clear that's what's going on.
I suppose there are some more sensitive topics, such as the white supremacists,
Yeah.
when they come to give you their opinion, but we can't really fight them if we don't know how they're thinking.
Yeah.
We have to understand what their logic is. No matter that we don't agree with it, but we still need to understand how that process is taking place in their mind to be able to address it.
I don't think all these kids coming out there are just coming out just because of adrenaline. I think some of them are like, this topic concerns me, hence they're there.
But
They're
the
not
way
listening
going
to the
about it,
topics.
yeah.
They don't want to hear the topic. They don't want to hear what
Okay,
the other person has to say that disagrees with their opinion. They think, okay, I don't agree with this person's rhetoric, so therefore this person cannot speak. That's not right.
Yeah,
And that's in an
dangerous.
educational environment,
Yeah.
which is supposed to give you
But the
different
one that
points
came
of
up-
view. That's the whole point of being educated.
There were a few of them there that came up and sounded reasonable, so I thought maybe individually they would be sensible. When they're in a mob, it's like a wolf pack.
I like what Obama said though. He was right.
It's true, you don't mollycoddle.
I don't agree that when you become students at colleges, have to be coddled and protected from different points of view.
Charles Murray is a libertarian political scientist with the American Enterprise Institute.
Okay, so here we are.
The Bell Curve is a previous book of Murray's. It suggested race may play a part in determining intelligence. Genetics, IQ, and Race. This is really the chapter.
Yeah.
And asserted that blacks do less well than whites on IQ tests.
The questions on the IQ test are suited to people who speak English as a first language, first of all. So when you are taking that test, you know, and you are from another country, another language-speaking country, it doesn't speak English as a first language, then they're not going to understand the questions of that IQ test in the same way that an English-speaking person of a certain intellect would understand it. And to my opinion, that would probably be the difference in scores in the IQ test. I do think that a lot of questions in tests that are used for IQ are racially biased. Okay, so I'll give you an example. A question might ask, what do you think of a tenement? Or would you live in a tenement?
What's the tenement?
Exactly.
They haven't ever lived in one.
They wouldn't
lived in
know
a project.
So no, a tenement is a project type of apartment. It's a tenement is like a block of flats.
But they're not
Yeah,
called
but
that
it's
in
not.
their area.
Yes, but it's you have to have a good understanding of the language to know that a tenement is what a block of flats.
I think I have the answer. You're not going to let us speak. I think that's a terrible shame.
Seconds after they took the stage, students drowned them out with a tirade of shouts.
If you want to engage with the scholar and you believe that your right to see them and engage with them is so strong that you don't care about the potential trauma or the potential violence this could bring to marginalized students, then I think it's a pretty selfish idea of academic engagement.
In fact, Murray's appearance did result in violence of a different kind. When Professor Stanger was escorting Murray out, they were attacked by a mob that included outside activists, and she was left with a concussion and whiplash. Ironically, Stanger was selected to moderate the event because she was seen as a respected professor with liberal credentials.
I actually went back and reviewed the bell curve and prepared really tough questions that I never really got to ask in front of an audience that was listening. It was this real groupthink mob mentality where people weren't reading and thinking for themselves, but rather relying on other people to tell them what to think.
You know,
What
this is what we...
What they do is they come as like a mob almost, and like you can see they're sometimes violent, and they just go there and they don't let them speak. They just go there and start shouting.
Okay, that's this particular mob, not all.
Well, like in the video,
all the ones
they're
shown
us
on this
examples.
video,
Yeah.
they've all shouted down
In the mob, when they're together.
Yeah.
Even the people that are there to argue their side, they're shouting them down. So what they're trying to do is stop a discussion
taking
but
place.
I think a discussion is very important, especially in university.
This is America, though. I don't think it's
Well, we don't have that problem in the UK.
No.
Well, we don't have it in the university campuses like this because our unis are different. But we do have the problem of we don't want some people to, like on the internet, you'll see everywhere nowadays of you say something that's slightly in disagreement with someone, there'll be a whole mob of people shutting you down, saying you shouldn't speak. There's been people who had to quit positions, and like it's becoming more than just students.
The reason why certain laws were made, as in, you know, it's gone too far, as they always go too far. And you can't call someone a Polish idiot or a Nigerian fool or a white bastard or a black bastard. You can't say that. You can't use that. You can call them bastard. I mean, you still get punished for that. But when you put that in front, that's called racially aggravated public order offense.
Okay.
It's gone a bit too far, as I say.
But I thought racially aggravated public order has to show a consistent.
No, you can just
you can just do it once.
Just one time.
Someone reported an incident. The man said, "Well, I called her a black this, but people call me white this all the time." I said, "Well, you should report." But it's getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
You gotta report because
But
someone called you a white.
wasting.
It's wasting time.
Yeah.
So that's that. But then you have to be sensitive when you see someone who maybe you look at, you gauge someone, you look at the person, see they look a bit off color or whatever. You need to be careful the way you approach the person in any event. But these days it looks like many of them are
just getting upset about
because of where they're coming from, because they didn't grow up like what the way we did. And all this fast food again might play a part, I don't know.
Terms like safe space, a place where students can go where they won't be exposed to topics that make them uncomfortable. Or trigger warnings, when a professor cautions students that upcoming material could be distressing. Robert Zimmer is the president of the University of Chicago. Last school year, the university sent a letter to incoming freshmen that said, in part, "We do not support so-called trigger warnings. We do not cancel invited speakers because their topics might prove controversial, and we do not condone the creation of intellectual safe spaces." The letter was praised by many, but some Chicago students, including junior Mary Blair, are still debating the meaning of much of its language.
I feel like the letter represented a fundamental misunderstanding of safe spaces and their value and their importance in any kind of setting.
You know, there's a real risk aversion on these campuses.
Law student Eric Wesson.
You know, once people enter the real world, I don't think the real world is a safe space.
I can assure you that all people of color who have existed in a primarily white space know that the real world is not a safe space.
So what are they saying then?
Yeah, so then,
So what are they
then why do you need the safe space?
So what do they say if she knows this is the real world is no safe space, and the other guy says, oh, it's not going to be a safe space? So what are they actually? Are they misstating the obvious, or they're
confused? They're supposed to be in an intellectual environment, and an intellectual environment that fosters discussion, exchange of opinion, debates. And it's through the debates that you get to change somebody's mind.
Yeah.
Because you present them with the facts and the information that could facilitate the change of perception or opinion.
Yeah.
But they're not letting that happen. So they're kind of defeating the aim that they're in this educational environment.
Yeah.
Yeah, the source of the thing, as I believe, is, you know, because there are children all over the world. Why is that some behave differently? These don't lack discipline. It may be from rich parents, moderate parents, what they all have in common is no discipline.
I have to say, another thing that came to mind about these students shouting down speakers, it's a way of them voicing their authority. Nobody can control them, which is actually what my learned friend here says.
No, I'm not your learned friend, I'm not even your friend.
Okay.
Wrong balance. I correct people in court all the time. Never mind, let's leave that. Let's not.
You're not my learned friend because I'm not a lawyer.
And I'm not even your friend. My friend
They
is
ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Let's leave that. I beg, edit that one out.
So that was the video. I would love to hear what you thought about it. If you feel like, yes, free speech is very important, especially in college campuses when you're meant to be open-minded. But in just general life, it's very important for us to have free speech. Or if you think otherwise and you go, nah, I don't think it's that important. I think people shouldn't be able to say mean things. Either way, I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, and share this to your friends. See what they think. They might agree with you. They might not agree with you. It's always interesting to have a discussion about topics like this. So see you next time on another episode of Let's Talk About It. Love.
You know, once people enter the real world, I don't think the real world is a safe space.